It's the Frank Monday live drive, giving you the live jive on the drive at 5. Welcome back. This segment is called Lucid Dreaming during the Trump presidency. So, I know a lot of people don't like the Orange Man, and OMB TDS was a big thing during his presidency. But I actually liked him, and I foresaw him becoming president. And when he was running for president, I was making the prediction that, yeah, he's gonna fucking win it. Americans like him. And a lot of people argued and said that the popular vote didn't go to him between Clinton, Hillary, really. But yeah, it did. And he also got the popular vote up against Beijing Biden, which people just won't admit. They won't admit the fact that they lost the Republic during this last election. I mean, the Republic was really lost before that. And Trump, as an outsider, you know, he's a businessman, and he's kind of an insider in one way, but he's not an inside lifer. He's not a career politician. So him doing that was kind of a big deal, you know. So during his presidency, I actually lucid dreamed or astral traveled to be in his presence multiple times. I can't keep them all in exact chronological order, but I did document them in my journals, and I'd like to talk about them now. So 3 of those experiences were assassination attempts on his life, and I was there in the scene, and I don't know, maybe spiritually in some way, I helped protect him and save his life. To get the exact details on each one, I'd have to go back into my journals and review those. But I do remember one where he was near the Beast, like that car that is like a mobile fort for the president to move around in. And there was an attempted assassination. A sniper had set up a position, and his head was almost in the crosshairs. And I popped in and I yelled in his ear, "Jump in the car!" And he ducked in, and I said, "Yeah, someone was about to take a shot at you." And he said that he knew, and he talked a little bit to me about the multiple assassination attempts. And so I thought that was interesting. And another time, there were 3 of them, but there was another time that I had visited him while he was visiting the construction of the wall. And I said, it was funny because there were Mexicans up on the wall working as laborers. And he said, "See, look here, I told you that I was going to get Mexico to build the wall. And look at all these Mexican laborers out here working, building this wall." And so it was poetic justice. I thought it was funny. And I thought, hey, shouldn't you have Americans, you know, put Americans to work doing this? And he's like, yeah, you know, none of them want to fucking do it. And it was actually, he told me there was a French company working on one section. The one section he was visiting that day, he said that it was actually a French company doing that. So I'd like to do the research and find out if there were any French companies hired in the building of the wall. That would be funny. But yeah, all that Americana and nationalism and directly opposing globalism and globalization, you know, they'll say, "Oh, but Trump had patents in China for his neckties, you know, and he had his neckties being made there." And it's like, yeah, you know, you're comparing apples and oranges. A private business individual getting trademark rights, that's what was one of the claims, is that Ivanka had some trademark rights here, is far different from the Hunter Biden scandal. And Hunter Biden over here, you know, smoking crack and sucking dick and strangling 15-year-old hookers and shit. They're just night and day. The whole Trump family is a class act. And other than like the big game hunting thing, that's not really my cup of tea. But, you know, at the same time, it is their cup of tea. And those big game animals wouldn't even be still being bred they would all already have been hunted into extinction if it wasn't for the trophy hunters setting up those parks to raise them. So, you know, it goes both ways. Those elephants would literally already be extinct by native poachers that are making money off of it, you know, getting the ivory and selling those parts, and then just wasting the entire animal. You know, that's a lot of flesh. Not that I, you know, would eat elephant trunk. It is a delicacy, but you know, that's not my thing. But how about those animals are raised into a surplus? Then is it okay to eat them? We eat beef and buffalo and chicken. So, I mean, why is one animal more special than another? Nah, it's not really my gig again. But I do see if that's, you know, and see, so that's the argument. The big game trophy hunters are the only ones that are keeping those species alive. You know, you take a picture of one of the kids or whatever, and they've shot a lion or an elephant or something, and it's only because they're investing in the parks that have the breeding that have prevented those animals from going into extinction. And the animal's got a 24-year life cycle anyway, so if they hunt and kill one at the age of, you know, at a mature age, like say it's 20, it was only going to live 4 more years anyway. And so they're investing just tons of money for the opportunity to do that. How can you be morally against it? I don't really see it. But there are other deeper, darker issues. But he always seemed to maintain a class act, and he didn't get involved in shit like that the career politicians did. Like Bill Clinton, man, you know, he's got fucking tons of pictures of him hanging out with adult video workers and stuff like that, and they all get involved in that because there's money, and there's big money, and those gals are sexy gals. But I don't see it, you know. I mean, you get a little hard on, you shoot a load. What's the big fucking deal, you know? Why would they ruin someone's life over that? And I don't know. I mean, are those AV models, those girls who make porn? And why can't anyone make porn and upload it to the internet? You know, there's different porn hubs and stuff where you can do that. But why should it be such an elite industry? You know, like you're paying a gal to have sex with you and make a video, so you're making a porno, right? That's legal. But you pay a gal to have sex privately without turning a camera on, then it's illegal. There's some fucked up shit in the world, and I think that's part of it. You know, like when I think about it, and I think, would I want my daughter to be would I want her to work in that industry? Hells no, you know, because I think it's degrading of the woman's virtue. But if they're classy about it and they do a good job and it's not all sick and perverted, you know, it's just straight sex or whatever, then, you know, what's the real harm? A waste of time? I don't know. And they get paid well. So there are issues. I think that it's spiritually unhealthy. I think it's spiritually unhealthy for the girls who do it, and the men who do it, and the people who watch it. So that's an opinion. But that doesn't stop anybody from doing it. Just like it doesn't stop anybody from hunting elephants or kidnapping and molesting children, you know? Is there a huge difference between those things? Oh, you will say that the sex workers, that they're at the age of consent, right? They're 18, so they're an adult, but does that justify it? It's still kind of a form of rape, you know? These girls are in desperate situations most of the time, and they want to, you know, they like the idea of getting, you know, getting fucked and getting paid to get fucked and looking sexy and working, you know, being adored, being worshipped by men. But then that pornography gets into the hands of children, and isn't that a moral crime? And just the whole drive in the advertising industry for men to be so hypersexual and